We all want to be exceptional, don't we? We look at our peers who we perceive as overachievers, getting their 10,000 a month internships, starting side hustles and businesses that's earning them big bucks, scoring well in school. We admire their tenacity and drive, that all-encompassing energy to achieve everything they can, while lamenting our own mediocrity, chastising ourselves for not being able to be like them.
But why do I not? Do I want to be mediocre for life?
We wallow in constant envy, thinking to ourselves, we pay the same school fees, we have the same 24 hours in a day, we are the same age. Why am I not like them? Now, what if I told you that to become exceptional, you have to convince yourself that you do not have to become an exceptional person? A lot of us in our younger years don't have a concrete direction that we want to head towards. We don't have a subjective idea on what success means to us as a unique individual. And if we have no concrete goals, what do? We set our eyes upon the goals that others have around us, especially so on those that are objectively ahead of us in terms of success. Typically for students, this might come in the form of securing internships every time you have a holiday, grinding out case competitions to pad out your portfolio, studying yourself into oblivion to achieve that first-class honours degree. We look in awe at their star-studded CV and resume on LinkedIn and feel this nagging pressure to build up something similar to fulfill this inner sense of jealousy and wanting. You compare that to yourself and you find that your relative achievements are lackluster as compared to theirs. If they can do it, then I must be able to do it too. If not, I am a failure. And thus, you potentially begin your journey into hustle culture. Okay, what is hustling? There are plenty of definitions out there, but I would say that hustling means working hard in trying to achieve the success that you want. Okay, but then what is hustle culture? Hustle culture is a lifestyle where career has become such a priority in your life, or the environment that you work in that other aspects of being human, such as hobbies, family time, and self-care, often take a back seat. And here's where things go bad. You start to inculcate this mindset that you have to be an overachiever, otherwise your life is mediocre and meaningless. The mindset that you will live your life unfulfilled and unhappy because of this supposed achievement that you apparently must have. And as a result of this, the more you get sucked into this hole of spending every waking minute of your life grinding for things that don't matter as much as you think. One day you realize that you do not know how to take a break because taking breaks stresses you out, making you feel like you're wasting your time. One day you start passing up opportunities to go out with the people that you love because you have some extra work to do, citing that there's always another time that you'll be able to meet them. One day you give up that lifelong hobby that you've always enjoyed because it does not fall into the definition of productivity that you have indoctrinated yourself with. And here's why I think that's bad for you. Essentially what happens is that you unload this tremendous amount of pressure on yourself to become an exceptional person. Someone adorned with paper achievements and the praise of others. But what this potentially creates is an endless cycle in beating yourself up, to the point of developing a mental disorder such as anxiety or even depression. You start to expect too much of yourself, and when you fall short of that, you berate yourself, thinking that you should do better. You berate yourself every time you take a break. You wonder why you're struggling to do something as simple as checking off your to-do list for the day, not aware that you're already burnt out, convinced that you're just lazy and unmotivated. You then try to persist through this burnout and eventually you fall short again. And thus, this is how this endless cycle happens. And at the end of it all, you realize that even with all these achievements on paper, it's not going to be worth it. Okay, then you might ask, why can other people do it and not me? In my experience, it's because these people are striving towards a goal that they intrinsically want to achieve themselves. That's why they can put in the consistent hard work, the consistent hours and the hustling into what they do, the patience and persistence and consistency to get to where they want to in spite of the overwhelming effort that's needed at times. And I personally find that this is where the problem is. A lot of people end up working towards the goals of others when it's not something that they intrinsically want. And our focus is on these high flyers. And viewing success through their lens is highly unlikely to be the success that we want to achieve for ourselves. There is objective success, but success is also subjective to the individual. And chasing success through an objective lens or someone else's point of view could lead you down a path that you never really wanted in the first place. Your subjective success might not look like objective success, But if that subjective success is what makes you feel fulfilled, makes you feel happy, and makes you able to live, then that's all that matters. And for what it's worth, everyone has their own timeline. You don't have to succeed at 25 years old and retire at 35. You might not become a millionaire by 25 years old, but that doesn't mean you can't become a billionaire by 35. Although, let's be real here, that's pretty unlikely for the most of us. It's okay not to be an overachiever. We choose to look up to the people that build companies, raking in millions of dollars, those that manage to cram productivity in every single waking hour of the day, rather than the people that have achieved a life where they are happy every single day, even if they are working a standard 9 to 6 job, spending their weekends just watching Netflix or simply taking things slow and doing nothing sometimes. I'm not saying that the people that are all about the hustle aren't happy, but I just think they aren't the only people we should be taking inspiration from. There is a value in simple living, and no amount of achievements could make up for the fulfillment you gain from doing the little moments in the present, even if that means passing up on a few hours of productive work to go for a round of drinks with your friends. Ultimately, I can bet that the memory that you remember and reminisce on is that night of drinks, rather than that night where you managed to cram in a few extra hours of work. I guess the only times I would say to hustle is if you're in it to survive financially, or if you're someone that has a clear direction and goal of what you want to achieve in life. If it doesn't interfere with your ability to live, and you have a constant awareness of what you're doing, that you're not doing this just for the sake of glory or for what others are doing around you. And if you're one of these people that are currently stuck in this mindless grind, I implore you to stop for a second. Take a long, hard look at yourself. Question yourself if you really want this. So yeah, you don't have to be an overachiever. And once you relieve yourself of that pressure, you realize that you can achieve anything. And it's really your choice whether you want to or not. Also, hustle culture. Stop working so much and learn how to live a little. Now, if you want to hear more about my thoughts on turning 25, click here. And if you want to know how to stop comparing yourself to other people, click here. The name is Dargo, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace!